All right, welcome to the 2024 annual meeting. Thank you for those able to attend. At this time, I'd like to introduce the current members of the Chamber Board of Directors, some of which were not able to be here this morning. Thank you for putting that in, Greg. He's omniscient. Connie Burton Touch Free Car Wash, Jackie Brady of the Richards Group, Nick DuBois, Edward Jones, Bob Gammon, WTSA, Steve Heim Properties, Jamie Moore, Epsilon Spires, Gina Pattison, Brattleboro Memorial Hospital, Don Parter, Latches Theater and Latches Arts, Derek Soldinsky, Bar 580, Chris Stoner, Twombly Wealth Management, Steve Wolf, WW Building Supply, and myself, Jonas Murray, Mallison. We have one individual nominated to join the board who we hope you will formally approve today, who is Kate O'Connor. Very excited that she agreed to join. She is currently the executive director of Vermont Independent Media, which is the Commons. Also the former executive director of the Chamber. So I'm sure very valuable insight and all around a wonderful person, if anybody's known Kate. Before we move on to the business meeting, I want to take a moment to recognize a departing board member, which is very sad. Gina Pattison has reached the end of her term. She has been a wonderful board member. She was our previous president before me, my predecessor, and she has stayed on in the capacity of the outgoing president and has answered any question I ever needed. She's a member of every single committee and makes every single meeting, even though she's rather busy. We appreciate you very much, Gina, and we're happy that you said you might continue on some committees. We'd love to have your presence in any capacity still in the chamber. We wish you the best of luck in your other committees and your very important job. Yeah, thanks, Gina. We're going to miss you.
Thank you. It's been a privilege to serve on this committee, or on this board, and I feel very passionate about the chamber and all that it does for our community. So thank you for that, and I do look forward to continuing in any capacity that I can.
Great. Thanks, Gina. You're the best. Okay. Before we move on to the business meeting, I want to take a moment. Oh, we did that. Sorry. Business meeting. Okay. I call business meeting to order. It is 8:48, officially called to order. So first item is the approval of the 2023 annual meeting. The minutes, they are available online. There was a link from the email that Greg sent out. They're pretty short and sweet if you guys had a chance to read them or not. So may I have a motion to accept the minutes of the 2023 annual meeting?
So moved.
Connie, first motion, thank you. A second?
I will second, thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. All those in favor of accepting the minutes? Aye.
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 All opposed? Abstentions? The motion carries. The 2023 year-end financial report. Our treasurer, Chris Stoner, will give an update on our 2023 year-end financials. Please, Chris.
Thanks, Jonas. And Kate, actually, I just got a text from Nick saying he's trying to join. He has been trying to join, but it keeps delaying.
Yeah, when I push the button, it just keeps for him saying joining and goes nowhere. So I don't know what that's all about.
Weird. Is there anybody else in the queue who's trying to join? It's
No.
just,
yeah,
okay.
It's bizarre. I don't know if he wants to try again, and
I'll have him try again. Let me get through my thing here and then we'll can troubleshoot here. I apologize everyone for my voice. I'm on the tail end of a pretty nasty cold, such as the season, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen Can everyone see this okay?
Yes.
All right. So this is the 2023 profit and loss statement for the chamber. I'm not going to go through everything, unless we're going to be here all day if I do, but I'll try to give you kind of the highlights here. From a membership standpoint, we were pretty much right where we wanted to be. 96% of budgeted inflows for the year, led by basic memberships. Obviously, was that's kind of the bulk of our inflow there from a membership standpoint. Platinum memberships, we were well over budget, 104%. Nonprofits, pretty much the only area that we were a little bit light on was, you can see, current year new memberships. We were only about 46% of budget inflow. I've also been told that we probably were a little bit too enthusiastic with this number, with the budgeted number. So we probably should pull that number down a little bit for calendar year 2024 budget. But all in all, a nice year for memberships. Some other kind of ancillary income sources. We have obviously Jingle Bell, which is not a huge revenue source. It's more of a, just something that we like to do for the community. Or just shy of 70% of budgeted inflow. We did not have a governor's event this year, so we were a little bit light in terms of our legislative and government or governors type events or informational events. Holidays, again, not a huge revenue driver there, but still around 75% of budgeted inflow. Vision, I thought, was interesting. We actually made almost $5,000 on our Vision program. That was a nice little surprise. But if we drop down to our total income for the year, we were over budget, which is great. 102% of what we budgeted for. So great job, Greg. Great job, board members, for getting us to the finish line, so to speak. From an expense standpoint, Greg continues to run a pretty tight ship. So kudos to him. You can see almost in every category, we were well under budget for expenses. Nothing really is jumping out. The only maybe financial, which is a small expense, but we had some expenses that we hadn't accounted for from a financial standpoint, where we were a little over budget, but really not a huge ding to the bottom line. Utilities, we way over budgeted for heat. Probably the cost of heating oil was so expensive last year that I think we had kind of over budgeted, and obviously oil has come down quite a bit, so we saved some money there. And then we, dropping down, we are again, Greg ran a really lean organization this year. So again, kudos to him. We were about 87% of our budgeted expenses for the year. So what does that mean? What's the bottom line? Net income, in terms of what we're sitting on. We have a net income right now of around $24,000 for just calendar year 2023, which I know Jonas has big plans where we'd like to put that back into doing things for our members. It's our members' money, and it only makes sense that we use that money to benefit them. Any questions? I'll open it up to questions at this time.
How do we make money in Vision?
I don't know.
That's Vision Insurance.
It's Vision Insurance. I think we just, where is it?
I think we get a percentage, right, Kate? We get a percentage of the sale of the vision.
Policies?
Wait.
Okay. We know what that percentage number is?
Oof, I don't remember off the top of my head. Kate does, but it's a good percentage. I mean, it's an area that we should and have marketed in the past to our members. For small business in particular.
It brought us.
That and the dental. It's mostly a benefit to people with few employees, because if you have multiple employees, you can get the package anyways. It's via Richard's group. The dental is more challenging because it's now offered through the state. It never used to be. So you can kind of get a comparable plan.
Okay.
But people still are using it.
Aside from our membership, I mean, that made us the most money, I think, if I read this right.
So the thing that's nice about it for the employers is you can co-pay on it, or you can pay for the whole thing for you. So you can have it as a benefit for your employees.
Got it.
You can pay 50% of it, which that's better for them than it is to just get it straight from the state.
Sure.
And we don't advertise that, correct?
A little bit. There's like a note with a funny looking cat that goes out with the renewals. But certainly we could do more with that. I think. I mean, as far as advertising, definitely.
Chris, do you know if some of the programs at the end of the year, like the Holidays, Holy Nights, and the Jingle Bell Jog, if there's still money coming in for those that didn't make it before the end of the year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think as of last meeting, most, if not all, had been accounted for, the inflow at least. Expenses, I think, were, I don't think we owed anything. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, most, if not all, of our inflow had come in. So
okay, thank you. That's more what I was thinking about than the expenses. Yeah.
And again, that's not holidays and Jingle Bell. That's more of a value add. It's something that we do for the community. It's not a huge revenue driver, for the chamber.
I agree, though. It's two events that are really nice.
Yeah. I mean, like holidays, we budgeted 4,400, 3,300 came in. So yeah, we made more on Vision than we did on holidays.
I think that there actually might be something that needs to come in.
Is there? Okay.
Because I remember it being about even. So we might be waiting on money from a sponsor, possibly. But I am not 100% sure. I would like to add that we did not crush it on our revenues goals, but we did spend most of the year working on building. It was more of a building year. We did show a net profit, but we spent, I forget what line item it is, but we spent a good chunk of money on strategic planning. I think it's promotions. Yeah, so $18,000 under promotions marketing, $18,000. That includes, I think, $12,000 for strategic planning, approximately. So that's been our main focus. So we can, and continuing into 24 will be a lot of building still. So we expect revenue to go up in 25 mostly. And Greg is still running solo.
Right.
Okay, good, everybody.
Anything else?
Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Chris. So may I get a motion to accept the 2023 year-end financial report?
Motion to accept.
Nick, welcome. Thank you. Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Connie. Is there any discussion, which we just had? So Okay, all those in favor of accepting 23 year-end financial report? Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Now it's time to elect our 2024 Board of Directors. Before we approve the full slate, I want to once again introduce the individual who has been nominated to join the board for a 3-year term beginning this year, Kate O'Connor. The illustrious Kate O'Connor, Vermont Independent Media. Ballots were emailed out to membership. Slate of board of directors was approved. So having been voted on by the chamber membership, do I hear a motion to approve the names as presented for appointment to the board of directors? One motion, please.
So moved.
John Potter, thank you. A second.
Second.
Derek, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, approving the names? Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The Chamber Board of Directors is recommending the following to serve as officers for 2024, which is all continuing. Myself, Jonas Murray, as President, Nick DuBois, Vice President, Chris Stoner, Treasurer, Jackie Brady, Secretary. Are there any other nominations? Guys are all happy with that? Okay. Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the slate of officers as recommended?
So moved.
Thank you, Connie. Second.
Second.
John. Thank you, John. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving slate of officers as recommended? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Can't be. You all said aye. Abstentions? The motion carries. Congratulations to the officers. We're burning right through this. Good. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us this morning. For my remarks, like I had just said, 23 was a learning kind of building year. We spent a lot of time on a strategic plan with Greg Hessel from Regenerative Resources, and a good amount of time. Thank you to the board for meeting outside of our meetings, and for all of your input. We did learn quite a bit about what the members want from us, which I think is important. This hasn't happened in quite some time, and the chamber has sort of become a little, I don't want to say stagnant, but it hasn't really done new things lately. And I think that the members, especially the members that are not currently members or potential members, want to know what exactly it is we do and what we can do for them. The top 3 things that came through the strategic planning that our membership said they want is marketing, networking, and education, which kind of surprised me. I thought advocacy would be higher up on that, but it seems that they would rather have the opportunity to network with legislators than to have us directly going to legislation, which I think kind of serves our purpose for what the chamber does more than being just a lobbyist group, because we run the risk of alienating the opinions of any topic we choose will, not represent everybody. But if we focus on networking opportunities and making it possible for the membership to get their voice directly to legislation, I think that would be the best thing that we can do. So that is something we're definitely working on. For marketing, that's by far the number one thing that people want from us. So in response to that, we will be rebuilding our website completely. we're going to focus heavily on search engine optimization, which means when you mostly Google, but other Bing, or when you search for anything that our members do, such as retail, restaurants are obvious, but it also services like electricians, plumbers. If you search for anything like that, we want to rank at the very top of the page so that your membership will, give you direct advertising. You'll be able to see measurable results from that. We're also hiring a marketing company to run all of that, the digital media and email marketing. We're going to work harder on that, so it's more specific to each need. So, for example, a dental and vision will work on emailing and contacting those members that it will benefit the most, meaning people with less employees, because like the hospital isn't going to use that. They have their own program, so they don't necessarily need to be contacted for that. And we all know that just getting emails about everything all the time, you tend to not open them eventually, right? We're also looking to hire a new employee who has skills with social media. That's a thing that people certainly want, and a lot of them said that they don't see us at all in their feeds. We also plan to spend some money on advertising on social media, because that is, nowadays, that's the way it works, really. That's why those guys have so much money. And we plan to expand on our networking events. So all of those things we'll be working on this year. They will cost money, and it will cost a lot of time. So we won't have a lot of time to be building our membership, but we expect to create a lot of benefits that will make new people, especially that haven't joined, because everybody knows who we are. They know we've been around, but they're not joining for some of these reasons. So we expect that our membership will grow significantly after we make these changes. And that's about it for my remarks. Of course, a huge thanks go out to all of our members for your support throughout the year. Could not do any of this without you. We are a membership organization. That's what we're all about. But I must give a special recognition to those specific members for their support of the following chamber events: Holiday Holly Nights, Community Bank, Vermont Country Deli, the Richards Group, Brattleboro Savings and Loan, Pine Heights at Brattleboro, Europa IT, Brattleboro Area Realty, Brattleboro Subaru, Surf Pro of Windham and Windsor Counties, M&T Bank, Champion Overhead Doors, Howard Printing, media sponsors, Great Eastern Radio, 92.7, which is 92.7 Brat FM, WTSA, which is for media, Four Seasons Media, Brattleboro Reformer, Vermont Independent Media, Classic Commons, thank you, Kate. The Jingle Bell Jog sponsors were Burton Touch Free Car Wash, thank you, Connie Hart, Rose Club, which is where we had the event, which is really, the old Shriners is really a nice building. They've done a lot of work there to make it a good place for events. Brattleboro Memorial Hospital, thank you, Gina. Edward Jones, thank you, Nick. Brattleboro Subaru, Vermont Country Deli. Special thanks to Pete Case, maybe better known as Fish, as our chief organizer for this event. And he does every year. It's great. For our successful holiday gathering at Nowaka, which was really better than I expected it to be. It was really a great event. And that's the kind of networking events I think that we want to try and do more of. Coda and Coda sponsored, and Landmark Trust USA, who owns Nowaka, I guess they own it. They're a nonprofit. And Coda was great. They did not only did they sponsor and provide all the money for all the hors d'oeuvres, but they had a giveaway of, was it 100 gallons of heating fuel to somebody in need. I think they do that every year, but that was really, I think that's great of them. So I will now entertain a motion to adjourn. Unless there's anything else anybody wants to talk about, any questions?
I'm curious if we do anything with the Harris Hill ski jump or anything with that. It's a pretty big event in Brattleboro. I don't recall us.
That is true. We currently do not, but I agree that that is something that we should be more involved in.
Carnival in general, right? I mean,
it actually corresponds with something called Winter Carnival,
right?
Which used to be a much bigger thing. I think definitely we could be doing more with that, and it is a time of year that Derek, our kind of business, retail and restaurants, can certainly use help in the winter. Because there's really nothing else going on to bring people around, and it is a national event. Is that I believe an Olympic qualifier, or it's on the way to Olympic qualification.
Mm-hmm.
So it's covered by national media. I think it's a big deal. Yeah. And I think definitely we could do more with that. And I think we could try to help revamp the Winter Carnival. It's pretty dated. There's the snowman that's like a little scary looking kind of. Yeah, I think that could certainly be updated.
You want to do something with it or try to think about or something.
Yeah. I agree. I think that would be a good thing to think about during 24. One thing that we are adding for sure that we've never done before is in May is we're going to have not a booth, but we're going to be set up at the Vermont Visitor Center in the pavilion, where we'll be able to give away. You can give out like food, and you can take donations, so we can have things from our members at the pavilion. I think Nick, the Rotary, does that. Is that true?
That is correct. Yep. Yeah, we do it usually in the spring. I think they gave us a couple dates we had to pick from this year. It works great. It's a super busy time of year. People come visit in the spring. We generate, I don't know, maybe couple thousand bucks, depending on what you're, selling. Usually we do baked goods that are donated, that sort of thing. So those tend to be the most popular.
Yeah. So since we have members that, do those types of things, we'll have our own members' food and etc. I think we can have coupons, discounts from other businesses that want to promote themselves. The visitor center is really a great resource that we should take more advantage of. We have our directory is there. We had a display for 1 month there last year, which we will do again. The woman who runs it is great. I can't recall her name. I work with her too. But she's very interested in helping the town, the community, any businesses. And you can actually sign up for a display there once a month. If you didn't know about that, it's free. You just have to sign up, and you get, I know if you haven't been there, they have showcases lining one row, and you can do a full display. My business does that every year. We do it in October. It's pretty successful. Another thing that they let us do is set up a table inside, which we did a few times during fall, and we had an array of like what we sell on display. You can't sell anything, but we gave out coupons. 600,000 people go through there every year. It's pretty impressive, and almost all of them are tourists. Brattleboro 91 is a pretty, we have 3 exits on 91. No other town in Vermont has that many exits off the highway. And, you know, there's a lot of people that are just driving by, but you have to drive by Brattleboro to go to virtually any of the snow mountains if you're coming from New York, Connecticut. So I think that's certainly a valuable resource that's mostly untapped. We could take more advantage of that. So there's that. The Winter Carnival is a great idea, Derek. Yep. And we'll work harder on having the governor event this year. I guess the governor's been busy with a lot of organizations have had the same problem. They weren't able to get him. So anything else? Well, thank you all who managed to join. Drive safe if you have to. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move that. We adjourned.
Thank you, Connie. Second. Thank you, Nick. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed?
Hi, everybody.
Thank you, Cindy.
Okay.
Thanks, Jonas.
Thank you.
Good job, Jonas. Thank you.
Thanks everybody who attended.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
Bye-bye.